she's performing there. And he said, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by performing? And she said, well, you remember when your sister used to sing around the house and everything? She says, well, she's a singer. She's really a singer, and she's performing with James Brown. And he was just like, oh my God, he could not believe it.
I stepped out on faith and I gave my notice. And I'm crying, y'all, because I gave my heart and my soul on that job. Because that was my passion. And sometimes our passion is really not our calling. It's just a passion.
When they say when it rains, it pours. It poured, but I didn't realize that the pour was on purpose. The pour was actually moving stuff out the way, moving people out of my path that didn't belong in my circle anymore.
Jesus loves me. For the Bible tells me so. And he looked at me, he was like, this little girl, how old is she?
He said, this little girl can sing. Look,
This little girl can sing.
Yeah.
This is your girl, Minister Nakita Davis, the proud CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land. And I am so excited for our next episode of Success Leaves Clues. I've got my girl in the building, Laurie Johnson. How are you, beautiful?
Hello, I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. And how are you?
I am fantastic, Queen. It's like a whirlwind. I've talked to so many amazing women, go-getters, glow-getters, women of faith. I'm just like in queen heaven, right? From talking to all the amazing women and what they do. So please tell the queens a little bit more about you, where you're from, what do you do, and how do you impact women in this season?
So like you said, I'm Laurie Johnson. I am living in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. I'm a financial consultant for solopreneurs. And so I specialize in the psychology of money for women, and specifically for service-based solopreneurs. And so I help them figure out their money, get their money mindset right, and put more profit in their bottom line.
And at the end of the day, isn't that what we're all, let's just be real, trying to do? You know, I feel like, you know, because I am an ordained minister, and so it's like people will try to separate, you know, and I've had interviews and things that I've done where people have asked me, well, how do you separate? I said, I don't. You know, Christ is at the foundation of what I do. It's my faith, he's my source, he's my strength, but I also know that he told me he wants me to walk into abundance. And how can I be the lender and not the borrower? How can I be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, if I'm broke? And I can't, you're in need, and I can't give you anything. I can't give you a penny other than a word. My word says word and deed. So I can't give you the deed part if I'm not coming into some type of financial resource. So Queen, tell me how you got into this arena. What made you say, this is what I want to do?
So it's so weird. I have been a tax preparer for 26 years, and it was like pencil and paper when I started. But I always ask the same dumb questions. One is like, what are you going to do with your tax refund? And the answers were like driving me crazy. It's like, I'm going to pay off my car, or I'm going to give my kids Christmas. I'm like, it's April. What are you talking about? You know, you're going to give them that I feel guilty Christmas when no one else is happening it, making the kids look stupid, or pay off your car. And then the next thing that's going to happen is your car is going to break down and you're going to need that money. And so I started giving financial advice. But what I would notice is they would come back to me next year, and it would be the same problem, just a different, you know, label. So if it wasn't the car broke down, it was something broke at the house, or the kids needed something. And so I'm like, you know, these budgets aren't working. You know, it has to be something else. And I didn't figure it out until I had something go on in my personal life. I have 2 children. They're both high needs, yeah, that's what I call them, high needs babies. And I was looking for some direction, and I found behavioral therapy. And behavioral therapy teaches you how to tolerate distress and regulate your emotions. And I was like, everybody needs this. And so I just integrated it in my program, and it works perfectly for changing mindsets and behaviors.
That's so good. It's funny that you well, first of all, I love how high needs. That's right. That's right. I know that's right. All of them like that. But I love how my queens, when they're stepping into who God has called them to be and what He's called them to do and how He's called for them to have an impact here on the earth, it stems from really something more, lack of a better term, selfish, or from their own experience. And once they saw the benefits in their world, they say, you know what, instead of being selfish, I'm going to share this with my tribe or with the people I'm designed to connect with. So I think that's beautiful that you took it from your lens and said, hey, let me go ahead and share this with other folks, because it's so important. You mentioned it. You said mindset. Talk to my queens about how important it is that you have a positive mindset towards money in the first place for you to kind of turn that leaf. How important is that?
Oh, that is crucial. I tell people the basis of your business is money. And I'm not just telling you that. The IRS says that. There are 9 factors that the IRS looks at to determine if you are a business, if you're like what I call a hustle and not a hobby. And one of them is that you got your money under control, right? And so the important thing about it is so many business owners go into their business and their personal finances are a mess. And what they don't know is that is the foundation upon which they're building their business finances. And when your personal money mindset is off, like for example, if you have a personal belief that people with money are bad, how are you going to make a lot of money? Because then you would be bad, right? And so these personal beliefs about money and mindsets about money impact what you charge in your business, how you invoice, how you collect, how you stand firm in your contract when people are breaking your terms. Mm-hmm.
That's so good, Queen. You're absolutely right. I run into a lot of queens that I love, and it's like, often when I'm speaking to them, I'm like, baby, let's just start from the top. Baby, you're not charging enough. I'm just be honest with you. You telling me, let me get this right. You're giving them A, B, C, all the way through Z, and you're charging this. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about, and I've talked to some of my queens, different boot camps and things I've had as well, and I'm sure you can definitely add light to this. People trying to trade their service hours for money, right? What is your philosophy on that, and how do you help them in that? Where folks will look at hour for hour, dollar for dollar. What's your thought process on that?
So I do think that. So I always tell people I have kind of an integrated brain. So my natural mindset is I'm very left brain. So I'm all about the money, facts, figures, but my right brain is very developed, right? So I know we have to look at emotions. I know we have to look at your mindset and make sure that your mindset is at the same place that your prices are, right? So even if you need to be charging more right away, you can't sell your service if you don't believe what you're charging, right? And so you have to get your mindset to what your value is. So I say you need to look at the market. You need to see what other people with your experience and your background and have equivalent benefits are charging for your services. And then you got to believe that. Right? So it doesn't matter if you're looking and you're seeing someone who's charging $600 a month for their coaching program, and you're like, well, I'm only charging $250 for mine, and I have the same services and I have the same experience. I can charge that too. If you don't believe it, you won't be able to charge it because you won't be able to sell it. Mm-hmm.
So good, Queen. I mean, it is, mindset is so important. I mean, it's almost, no, I said almost as important as getting to the money, because if you don't have that in place and you can't stand firm on your belief that you are adding value, I don't care if it's a product, if it's a service, whatever you're doing, your coaching program, your books, whatever, if you don't believe in it, then how in the world can you get somebody else to believe that what you have is going to be a breakthrough? So you got to believe it first. So talk to them a little bit about what are some of the things you start off with your clients. So they're brand new to you. They want to start their business. They know they need to get some things fixed in their personal financial endeavors first. What are some of the strategies that you use to help them level up slowly by and by?
For the first thing that I do is clarity. You have to have clarity around your financial numbers, personal, business, both. You have to know what's coming in, what's going out, what you got, what you don't got, what you should got, right? you have to know what you're spending your money on. In business, what level of business are you, and are you spending appropriately for that level of business? You should not be a level 1 business, what I call a nonprofit, not because you're an actual nonprofit, but because you're not making no money, right? So if you're not making any money yet in your business, you shouldn't be paying for level 3 expenses, right? You shouldn't have $1,000 a month membership site where you have 3 members in your membership site, right? That just doesn't make any sense. And so I take them through their numbers, I take them through their expenses, and we get real clear on what they're doing that's making the money, what they're doing that's making it so they can make any money, right? Another thing that I will say is I try and explain to them real quick that your personal financial strategies are not the same thing as your business financial strategies. All day long, you should not have debt in your personal life. All day long, you should be using debt to build your business, right?
Queen, that is so good. When I personally, as a business owner, realize that, because what happens, and I can't speak for everybody's experience. I know the women who are watching this are international and they've got different experiences and backgrounds and all of that. I can speak from my African American experience, and that being, you didn't want debt. So it was almost a feather to my cap on my personal side of the house to minimize debt as much as possible outside of my mortgage, or maybe a few more payments in my car note. And then, hey, everything else, honey, cash, furniture paid for, cash, this done, honey. I don't, and but that was like, oh, but in your business, when you finally realize the aha moment that you need to leverage these Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies, oh, they have billions in the bank and they also have millions in debt because they leverage that. So how do you chip away with the behavioral mindset that you use to chip away that thought process of it's okay to have debt in your business as long as you're leveraging it? So how do you chip away or get queens to understand to chip that thought process away?
So the second step that I take them through is kind of an analysis of I call it their money profile. So I'm looking at on the one hand, their money personality, and it is like you're born with it. It's like being left-handed or right-handed, and it's just that hard to change. And then on the other side, it's your money baggage. And that's the stuff where from the time you was like on your mama's hip, pointing at something at the store, talking about, I want that, you started putting stuff in your bag, right? And I help people unpack your profile, figure out, what you can do to take care of those money personality challenges, and then also throw away stuff in your bag that you don't need, wash the stuff that you can't get rid of, and repack so that you can carry it, right? And in that, I'm also talking to them about so it's also about giving them some strategies to look at, okay, for your money personality, it may be that you need to look at your investments in this way, right? So this might be the easiest way. So for an example, if you are a planner, right? And debt is your strategy in your business. What is your plan for paying it off, right? So we just go in alignment with what your money personality is. And that shows me how to kind of talk them into debt is a good thing. So in the psychology of money, sometimes tricking yourself is perfectly okay.
Okay, I got you. Now, you mentioned this money personality. Is that a test that your team has created, or is there a site or something that's already out there that you can share with our viewers? How can they find out their money personality?
So there are a lot of sites out there that will have a lot of different money personalities, but actually I have a book. It's called You Bought What?
Okay,
And How to Create a Spending Plan That Works. And in this book, it talks about the money personalities, and the main two are savers and spenders. And then there are some subcategories like hoarders, or people that are givers, or people that are spontaneous. And it talks about what those personalities are, and some strategies for them. And that can be found at my website. It's at Revision Financial Solutions. It's REVISION, revisionfinancialsolutions.com.
love it, Queen. Show the book again. Let's see that book again. Love it. You can't look at that green. You bought what? Because we all have done what? And when you come back and you start feeling bad, or either you come back and you feel good, or you're like, I feel good, now I feel bad. Well, should I have spent that? Right. So I love that, Queen. So y'all make sure y'all pick that book up. I love it. She said you can go to her website, and we're going to drop the link below as well, so you'll be able to pick that up and patronize and be blessed in that. So let's talk about 2020. Woo! First of all, this is still the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. But I know for many people, 2020 has been crazy, from COVID-19, racial divide, Kobe passed away, Wakanda, you just boop, right? And then you add on your normal life in between those things, right? So from a financial standpoint, what can folks begin to do? They're in their business, they want to thrive. So first of all, let's be clear. They're excited because they're still standing. Many companies, unfortunately, went by the wayside during this time frame. So they're still standing, but they're still not where they want to be. What types of pivots or shifts are you seeing, or are you recommending to your existing clients to help level up or bounce back quickly? Maybe what they were doing before was sufficient before, but now it's not. So how can you give them some advice, some success tips to either bounce back or to pivot and begin to scale again in their business in this season?
So nowadays, and then just a reminder that I work with service-based individuals. So a lot of it is the networking. You have to have a strategy to follow up, right? You cannot be messing up on the follow-up. Right? So when you go networking, and nowadays you can network anywhere. I happen to be the managing director of the local eWomen Network chapter, and eWomen Network has 118 chapters. And you can network here in Charlotte today, you can network in Australia tomorrow. There are all kinds of networking organization. I just stepped down from the board of directors of the National Association of Women Business Owners. It's a nonprofit. And again, tons of chapters. Get out there. Networking has never been so easy. You can do it right from your chair without your shoes on. You know that, right? So get out there, get on that, get in that private chat, make some connections with people. Oh, I heard you said what? I think that I might be able to support you. We might be able to have a strategic partnerships. We might be able to do a Facebook exchange. You have to be creative right now and thinking of strategies so that you can make connections with people, so that you can, build your tribe, get your team, get your fans who will get you to your referrals and your leads so you can get your clients, so you can build your business, so you can get your money, right? The more money, the more impact you're making in the world. And I really do think that that is what God wants us to do, is create impact in the world.
Absolutely. You know, I tell my folks, my queens that have been riding with me, when I look at my bank account, of course you want it to grow in your business, but truly I look at it from the stance of, it's not about, oh, okay, well, I'm increasing here or there, but I look at that and I say, wow, I'm making an impact. It is directly reflective of my impact. If I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, Nakita, we're looking a little funny this month. What's going on? Where do we need to shift? Then that also lets me know I'm not touching as many lives, because I know what I provide is of value. Same for you and same for the queens that are watching this. If you provide value, then people should be willing to pay you for your knowledge and expertise. As you stated, coming from the service-based industry, which I am too, you know, they should be able to pay you for that. And if they're not, then you may want to go back to the drawing board and think about how you are coming across to your target audience. And then to say, the folks that are following you, are they really your target audience? So talk to the queens about, as you're helping your prospects and your clients, the importance of getting, you talked about clarity, but getting that target market and getting that target client. What's the importance behind that for them?
Well, everything that you do is geared towards the people that you're trying to serve, right? So if your message is wrong, they're not hearing you. If your delivery system is wrong, they're not seeing you. They have to be able to hear you, see you, to know you, trust you, want to do business with you, to even know that you exist, right? So you have to be where they are. And that might mean that you have to do a little research, right? You might, and I know I said in the beginning, I was talking about those 9 factors that the IRS looks at to determine if you're a hustle or a hobby. Well, one is that if you don't know what you're doing, you have to hire someone or get a mentor who does know what they're doing. It is not a suggestion. It is a requirement. It is one of the check boxes. So you have to find someone who knows what they're doing. If you don't know how to get in front of your target market, you have to get someone who does know how to get to your target market. Mm-hmm.
So good, so good. I feel like, you know, in this season, the people that are thriving during 2020 and as we run into 2021 are the ones that already had that foundation for their network. You know, folks will try now, which is never too late. You can always build your network, but I'm just saying those who got ahead of the curve, those who got ahead of the curve already, and it seems like they didn't skip a beat, already had a network, so they could leverage that network in this time. You know, you can't wait until you need your network to start creating your network. That would be equivalent to saying, oh man, I got into a car accident. Well, let me see if I can call Geico and see if they'll give me some insurance today. Hey, y'all gonna cover this? They're going to say, no, ma'am, boo-boo, kidding. We're not going to cover it because you were not already with us. It's the same thing in your tribe, queens, and your, whatever you want to call it, your fans, your tribe, your crew, your target market, your avatar, whatever, your people that ultimately will pay you. That's what I'm saying, the people that will pay you.
Now that you say that, I just want to mention this one thing. It is the exact same way with people's business finances. Like, I am all about knowing what's going on with your money. And because I have a tax practice, because I'm a financial consultant for solopreneurs, I saw right at the beginning of COVID, when all that PPP, Paycheck Protection Program money came out, when all those idle dollars coming out, people were coming to me. They were making $250,000 a year, did not have their finances in order, didn't have an accounting system, didn't have a regular invoicing system, which meant that they had a very difficult time applying for those funds. Right? So there are people, they're like, okay, the funds are gone now. It's not too late. They're getting ready to approve more money. Stop delaying. Go ahead and get your finances in order. Stop messing around.
Ooh, Who you telling? I've had a couple of queens that shared that, and I know that, and that's the sad part, because your business, it's time to treat, if you don't hear anything else, it's time to treat your business like a business. I put a post out, I don't know when, I'm always putting something out that comes to my heart, but you got to stop treating your business like it is a side piece. Okay, like it is on the side. If it's truly your business, right? And you may still be in full-time right now, maybe you're not in full-time entrepreneur, but if you aspire to that one day, you're gonna have to get your house in order. You're gonna have to have a legit business banking account that's separated from your personal checking account. You're gonna have to have, get your EIN and just all of these other things that your business needs. You need to have a business address. You don't want to put your home address out in the universe for everybody to have access to. So it's just these types of things. And like she said, like this queen said, if you don't know, it's okay. It's okay. But if you stay that way, then that isn't your fault. You have to get help. So reach out to Laurie, reach out to me, reach out to any of the other queens, 27 of them in total, that are about their business and serious about it. Somebody will point you in the right direction, but just make sure, don't you go into 2021 not legit. It's too legit to quit. Okay, you cannot do it. Yes, queens.
So I have a gift for the viewers. If you go to yourmoney.com, there is a checklist with everything that you just said on it. Do this, do this, do that, do that. Get your money straight, right?
Come on, this queen is, did you please say that again one more time?
It is care, C-A-R-E, 4, yourmoney.com. And there is a checklist for both your personal life and your business.
Oh, she getting y'all in the game, y'all. We just eliminated every excuse known to man. It's gone, right? Yes, we so appreciate that, because the queens need that. Guess what? You might think you got it all. There's nothing wrong to check it twice. I might download it myself. Just make sure. And it's okay. You know what I have found, if anything, we will try to be the jack of all trades. And what has been your experience with really drilling down to your genius zone? So knowing the difference between what is your genius zone, the thing that God has called you to do, versus the other things that you could do okay in, and being able to delegate that to the appropriate people. How has that benefited you, and how does that help you help your customers?
I will have to say that was one of my hardest and most expensive lessons to learn, is that I shouldn't be doing the things that are $10 an hour things. I need to be doing the $1,000 an hour things, right? And it is so hard for you. I mean, for some of my clients, it is control issues. Some of them, it's like perfection. They're perfectionists. For some of them, they just don't see the value in using your credit card to pay someone to do the things that you don't specialize in. I have a great mentor, and she says you should only be doing the things that only you can do. Everything else you should do. If you're not doing it, you should ditch it or delegate it.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Oh, say that phrase one more time. She said, do what now?
You should only be doing the things that only you can do.
Wow, I love that. And she said either you need to ditch it or delegate it.
Yep, do it or delegate it.
Do it, ditch it, or delegate that. Oh, I hope she don't have that trademark.
She's like a big million.
Okay, so she probably do. We'll have to find another phrase, but I get what she's saying. I love it. It's all good. No stealing, just shameless inspiration. Okay, but
she will tell you don't adopt it, adapt it.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. And that is so good. And you really can use that mantra, that concept, really to anything that you do. We get caught. That's how you get caught up in the weeds. And it's hard when you're caught up in the weeds, or when you're in the picture, it's hard to see the picture frame. And where you need to be going, where you're wanting to go, scaling up into the right, you need to see a clear picture. You need to be able to see from a bird's eye view. And it's hard to do that when you are doing, to her point, the things that are $10, or you can get Fiverr to do, or you can get somebody off a thumbtack, or your virtual assistant or your VA, or somebody who can do that. It's not that these things aren't important, because they are. They have to get done. If they don't, they will hurt your business. They'll slow you down. But like she said, you need to be getting to the money, the thousand, the high price ticket, or whatever the case may be. The impact, again, it's about the impact. Yes, the money will come, but it's the impact. So I love it, Queen. Well, please, as we wrap up, tell them, what do you have coming in the future? Anything, any upcoming projects, any conferences? How can they kind of be in your tribe, if you will, with anything you've got going on as we close out 2020, going into 2021?
Well, I do have a sponsorship coming up at an event called Take the Stage, and I have some discounted tickets available. So if you guys are looking to be a speaker or an author, it is an excellent event for you. It gives you all the skills. It is an extremely reasonable price. If you ever hear me talk, I do not tell people to buy stuff they don't need. I refuse. I don't care how good a friend you are. I'm not telling people to buy your stuff if I don't think they can afford it at their level of business. But this is an excellent event if you're interested in that. And come see me at my registration booth. It's November 12th, 13th, but I'll get you the link. Yeah.
Can't hear me. There we are. I said, fantastic. I love it, Queen. Well, as we wrap up, any final tip, any final clue for that woman who says 2020 has been rough, I'm ready to get back on my A game, or maybe I'm ready to get on my A game for the first time? What words of inspiration, wisdom can you pour into her in this moment to either get connected with you or someone like you so that she can soar in this next season?
So if money is your thing, reach out to me. You guys have my website link. If you are looking, so I have a huge, there are a lot of wonderful ladies in this lineup. Like, find you someone that you can connect with, right? So that you can get yourself to the next level. But the one tip that I think is always the greatest tip that I can give someone when they're trying to start their business is time block. And I know it sounds like this crazy thing, but you will have a million things that you need to do. And you need to figure out a way that you can get it done. And so you really do need to, go. It's not like a miracle thing. Go out and Google it. But you need to create some time blocking so that you can organize your day so that, the 3 things that you swore that you were going to get done before you go to bed that night, that you actually get them done.
So good, Queen. I appreciate that, because we as women, we wear so many hats. We're doing so many things, whether it be a wife or mom or significant other, work, school, yourself, kids might be in school, your business, and just loved ones that we're taking care of, or family members that we're trying to oversee and make sure they're okay, etc. And we wear so many hats. And if we don't prioritize, if we don't organize, if we don't have a way to organize our thoughts, that is the thing too. I think sometimes we get so caught up in organizing the tangible things that we can touch or the tangible things that we can see. Sometimes you just need to organize your thoughts, because they are floating all over the place. And so it starts there. So then you can get to the tangible things that you actually need to get done, that is going to make movement and give you momentum in your business. So I love that. I had another queen that spoke about making lists. So however, whatever's good for you, what's your jam and what makes you feel good, but get organized. But in order to get organized, you got to have that time. So that's so good, Queen. Well, look, I absolutely appreciate you. Just bright and just beautiful smile. And I love the book. Show them the book one more time. Yes. Queen, come on. You bought what? check your queen out. Make sure we're going to have the link below so you can pick up the book. And then we're also going to have the link for you if you want to tap in and be a speaker, if you're an author, with this amazing event that she's got coming up that she is speaking about as a sponsor. So that information will be there in all of her website, social media, so you can get in contact with this queen because you want to do that. She is well connected around these streets, okay? Love it, queen. Well, thank you so much for being here. God bless you and all that you do, and I certainly see us connecting and collaborating in the future. Well, queens, this is your girl, Minister Nakita Davis, the proud CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land, and you have just witnessed another amazing episode of Success Leaves Clues, because after all, success leaves clues, y'all. I hope you picked them up. Bye, queens. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Yes.